Hello Thompson Tigers. Today I am here to show you how to design your own animal eye. Now I've given you a PowerPoint with lots of different examples of different kinds of animal eyes. I hope that you looked for the detail, the textures, the shape of the different types of pupils and the colors and the irises. Today we're going to kind of cobble together a few different parts of our favorite eyes to create something new. So the first thing I want you to do to start your drawing is to create the iris of your eye. All right, so this looks like it might be a little bit big. Let's start by tracing a circular form. I'm going to use this cup. And remember, we don't want to trace entire pictures, but it is okay to use a tool for a specific shape or a line, like we use rulers to make straight lines and cups to make perfect circles. So here's our iris. The next step, we're going to try to figure out what kind of pupil shape. Now, I was really inspired by the gecko pupils, so I'm going to start with a long, thin pupil, but then I might kind of mess with the shape a little bit because I remember from my resource photos that gecko pupils can get pretty wild. So I might give it kind of a starburst shape. All right, awesome. Now the other thing that pupils and irises had was shine. So I'm gonna add some shiny spots. And remember too, what we saw in our reference photos, our shines have different shapes from eye to eye. So look at the reference photos to find the shape of shine that you like for your eye. Now next we're going to make the overall shape of the eye within the lid. Now some of them are perfect circles with eyelids around them, but I am going to create a little bit of an almond shape around my eye. I'm going to slant it. Remember, this is just an example of one possible design. Your design is going to look totally different from mine, and that's great. I don't want anybody copying this exactly. This is just an example of what you could do and how you go through the process. So now I'm going to add some eyelids. So I'm going to add eyelid on top of my eye. I might add a couple because I remember some of the geckos I saw were very wrinkly. They had very deep crevices around their eyes and maybe some eyelids to the bottom. All right. Now go as detailed as you can. So the more I look at the photos, my reference photos, the more details I notice. So for example, there's kind of like an outline to the eye, kind of an inside to the lid here that goes around. Okay. I don't think geckos have eyelashes. I did not see any in my photos, at least. If they are, they're too tiny to be noticed. And then I'm going to think the area around my eye, I'm going to fill with the texture of my animal. So if I'm doing a gecko, I might create that eyebrow ridge up here, moving into the nose, and do some scales. Now, I'm going to be using oil pastel later to develop this, so my scales might be just repeated soft round squares or circles within my animal. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with that. All right, and there are my scales. Now you'll notice too when I'm working on my scales, some of them are very big and some of them are very small because on animals the size of the texture on the animal tends to vary. And just for those of you who want to do feathers, I'm going to add some feather type shapes, just the suggestion of feathers. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a dinosaur. The suggestion of feathers with long triangles. Again, there's a bajillion different ways you can do a feather. This is just one that I'm showing you. All right, fantastic. And there's our roughed out drawing ready for color.